Hey, welcome to another episode of Everything NYC Podcast. The title is Are You Over Your Ex? Part 2. We have two ladies on the couch. Let's get into it.
And as you can see, on the table, we have these 12 random cards. So during this conversation, at any point, if anybody in here feels that anybody is lying, saying anything foolish, what's there's a lot of laughter over there. So I see there's gonna be a lot of lying in this one.
This is all new to me.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very truthful.
Anything funny in this
I thought
conversation?
this is a game, so this is punishment?
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. Anything funny that happens, you could designate a card to anybody here, but each person only could get 3 cards. That's it. You can't abuse a person to give them the whole deck.
Okay, so the maximum is 3
It's 3
strikes.
to each person.
Okay.
Wait, but what if we're being truthful?
No, I don't believe you.
Oh my goodness.
So
It gotta be like 2 people to not believe you, not just one.
Exactly. I think there's
Alright.
got to be a
I just had
vote.
to break it down.
Two people.
I just had to break it down.
All right, but we need to
Okay.
start with the intros.
Mhm.
So let's move over to the intros. Start with your name, your age, what do you do, where you're from, and the final question is, are you over your ex?
Okay. My name is Zaza.
All right.
That's the name I'm gonna give you guys. Diallo was introducing me to everyone like as my full name. Like that's for people I go to school with. Okay.
Okay.
I'm from Brooklyn. I work right now. My day job is health insurance, but I sell drinks and I am getting into the business of pre-rolls. And I am 31. I'm Scorpio. I feel like I'm on a dating show now.
Kind of
Yeah.
is
Gotta sell yourself.
Right. Yeah, I'm 31. And am I over my ex? I believe so. It's like tests you have to pass to see like if you over someone. And I feel like I be passing all of my tests. Like, yeah, I'm over it.
All right, we'll see.
We'll
about
see.
that.
We'll see.
Okay, Erin, it's your go.
So I'm Erin, 29. I hail from Bayside, Queens. I'm a personal trainer still to this day, and I love it so much. Am I over my ex? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And you still working on that website?
No, so the website, yes, I'm still working on it, but I do have a type form page up,
Okay.
so people can reach me out to me via the type form.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question I want to ask is, in y'all last relationships, what happened that made this individual an ex in the first place?
You want me?
Gosh.
What was the main thing?
What was the last straw?
Yeah,
Like,
the last straw. That's how. Okay, this is it. I'm done. I'm out.
Gosh, I think we both just, I was more so trying to hold on just so my idea of the relationship was, let's not let's have a happy ending because it wasn't a good middle. So I'm like, you know what, at least make everything worth it. But, it was just like we couldn't be together for more than 24 hours without an argument or fighting. And then once I got to that point, I started not like I didn't announce it, but I low key started like just cutting off all like the strings attached. So when it was final, because we would break up a lot. So I'm like, I started thinking, why the fuck I always come back? Excuse me, can I curse?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, I'm like, why the fuck I'm always coming back? Like, what is it? So I would think of all the times, the reasons I would come back. I was like, yeah, let me deal with this. Let me deal with this. So I was preparing for like the breakup, low key, and I was like, if he fix it, he fix it. But I'm like, what's kind of like the path is kind of being set already. So I was just cutting off all the ties that we would have. So it wouldn't be any ties where it'd be an excuse on, hey, I had to speak to you because of this, or hey, I had to deal with you because of this. So I didn't want it to be any ties. So if we did speak, even if after the breakup, it was because we wanted to speak to each other, not because of any situation. So yeah, we had like the phones, the Netflix. I was just low key cutting everything off, and he was just getting mad and was just like,
Well, you said the Netflix where you was paying the bill?
Y'all living together?
no, I mean,
Yeah,
you change the path. You're not getting not being on my Netflix
Like $10.
anymore. Like, no.
Now it's like 17.
Oh yeah,
dude.
now it's
Inflation.
$17. I mean, back then this was $10 days.
Inflation.
But no, it was just like, Yeah, you wasn't getting any of the passwords is like the first. Passwords is always the first to
It's all
go.
over.
You
Damn.
It's
you
all
go
over.
on to Netflix and you be like, please log in. Yeah,
Fellas, if she changed the password, you're done.
It's over.
You're
that's
done.
the first. That's the first step.
Pack the
That's
bags. Get
first
back on
step.
Hinge. Get back on
Once
Hinge.
you can't get into HBO Max anymore, it's just like,
It's
yeah,
over.
you better count your days. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then the phone and yeah. So I was just doing little by little. You know, it's not like I was doing it on the low. I was telling him like, hey, I want this done by this day. So, and it was still a fight. So it's crazy, even when you say it. So it's
Very,
like,
very depressing. Very,
Yeah.
very depressing.
yeah, and then yeah.
So, Erin, let's hear you. What
Okay.
was the main thing?
So mine was actually very just recently.
oh
How
Lord.
recent?
Like early March.
That's like last week.
That's not last week.
It's like 3 weeks ago.
It was like 3 weeks ago.
You
Two,
literally
3
just
weeks
started
ago.
April yesterday.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like very early
It's
March.
okay. Let her tell her story.
oh yeah.
But it was due to the fact, like in the beginning, it was very good. You know, it was very nice. He was like, you know, if we don't work out, we're going to be friends. And I was like, I was for it. I was like, okay with it. And then little by little, it started becoming like more controlling behavior. So it was, okay, so we're going to go from spending Saturday and Sunday at my house to I'm going to pick you up at work on Friday night and you're going to stay with me until Tuesday morning. You're going to change your schedule. And so if I work Tuesday morning, you're going to work Tuesday morning until Friday evening, which is his work schedule. So it's just a lot of controlling things, a lot of, saying like, oh, you're my soulmate. Like once he said it, I was like, nope,
You
I'm
mind
definitely
if I
not.
ask you
Like
what's
you
his
can feel
sign?
it. Oh God, I don't remember his sign,
When's his
but
birthday?
his birthday was
sign.
January 12th.
What does
That's
sign?
a Capricorn.
What does it have to do? Like a sign? What's
I don't know. I'm just making this in my notes for Capricorn.
A sign?
Like,
I
Yeah, just
guess-
put it
I
in the
guess
notes.
I'm not gonna act
Capricorn-
like I know Capricorns. That's just a
Yeah.
note. Like
Jesus.
this Capricorn was very controlling. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
he was
know.
very controlling because he had like a very nice personality. And then I also didn't realize that he was an alcoholic too. Like
Uh-oh.
I did
Ooh.
not see it until like 2 months into the relationship that he would have like 8 bottles of sour IPA.
Jeez.
Wow. I don't even know
And-
what
Wait,
that is.
alone? Like while he's home?
No, like while we're at work, while we're like in the car, while we're at home.
Like
and
what?
then like after work, when he would pick me up and we would go on dates, we'd like immediately go to a bar and he'd get like 2 shots of Casamigos and a beer with it.
Yeah, that's alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's definitely
a bit
alcohol.
much. That's
And
too
then
much.
so when he got sick, like he got sober very quickly because he was like very close to death. But then he was putting his sobriety on our relationship. Like, oh, if you leave me, I'm gonna drink. I'm like, unfortunately, like,
Oh, he put it
You
in
like,
that-
yeah,
that's,
he
a,
tries
weak,
to-
that's a
yeah.
weak move. That's a
Yeah.
weak move.
yeah, like
That's
to
a
make
weak
me
move.
feel guilty. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, if you drink, that's on you because you're making that decision. That's not on me at all. And so it was really also like him nonstop calling me, nonstop texting me, also while we're working. So like he's training client and I'm training client. He's calling me like 30 times and I'm not answering, and he's texting me and calling me at the same time.
This is not, I'm just want to say this is not
Yeah.
sounding good for Capricorns. At all.
No, it's
Oh.
not.
Not.
Yeah.
And then we also worked together too, because we worked at one of the gyms that I work for. And we were like, we started out kind of as coworkers, and it was like, you know how it's that coworker flirting? Like you don't think it'll develop into anything.
Never
And then all of a
did
sudden we went on a date and I was so shocked. And I didn't think the date was going to be anything. And then all of a sudden we were just in this like full blown relationship like after a month.
So you can't date coworkers. Man.
So like once he was calling me a soulmate, he was like, oh, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to do all these things. Like I'm buying you all these things. I'm getting you all these things. Like I don't need you to buy me things. I'm a very independent woman. I do a lot for myself. I work very hard.
Did he
for
end up
what I
buying you
do.
anything?
He bought me like, did he buy me anything? I don't think he really
Come
bought me
on,
anything.
fellas. If
He
you're going to
said-
say, I'm going to buy you something, you got to
Exactly.
back
Be a
it
man
up.
of
He
your
said
word,
he was
man.
going to buy me a dress. He said he was going to buy me knee sleeves. Never happened.
So-
Come
He
on,
didn't
these-
buy me anything because
Get
he
it on
was
Amazon.
I
broke
can't. It's
almost
so
all
funny.
of the time.
All the Capricorns I know do get money, but
Not him.
yeah, once
He just like spends it like crazy.
Yeah, like, once
so you
you
get like
say-
a $3,000 check and then it'd be gone.
oh
Probably on alcohol.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the next question I have to ask, because this is like kind of interesting. Where did y'all even meet these people?
Yes.
Where did y'all meet these characters?
Tell us about the beginning of the story,
I'm gonna
because
let
you
go first this time.
both of you ladies gave
Finish.
us the final straw, but I'm very curious to know about the beginning, and then at what point did things take a turn for the worse? Because even you said like he was your soulmate.
No,
At
no,
one
he
point.
said
He
he
said
was.
that.
Clean.
He said
I didn't
that.
say that.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
he said that to me,
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
Clean.
no.
So okay, so you never
Oh,
said it. You
no.
never. Okay, you never.
Yeah,
said
I had
it
the
back.
feelings of.
So
No.
When he said it.
where did y'all meet, and then who broke up with who? It was like a 2-part.
And how
Yeah.
long was this? This was
This is like 3 months.
yeah, no, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start with you. Let's start with you.
Like a
Capricorn.
2-part question.
Where did you meet your dude?
He's asking you
And who
first.
broke up with who?
Oh, you want me to go
Yeah,
first?
Yeah.
go first. Where did you meet your dude?
Wow.
Mine is very simple and
Um,
easy. So that's
I actually met him through a friend, a mutual friend. I was in another relationship that my friend wanted me to get out of, and
Wait, what?
it was that situation was on the ends, and I was still probably holding on. The person I am.
don't worry, I
and
do the same thing. So
yeah,
don't
so she brought him to me first, and I was like, you know, I was actually physically with the person, so I was like, like you're wilding, like he right here, like bro. And I remember that day, and then it was like when she came to me again, I was like, all right, now I'm ready to deal with. But yeah, it was actually messy from day one. I don't even want to get into
Yeah,
that.
because you had a whole man already.
Yeah.
no,
Toxic.
I would, you know what?
You
She
had
had a toxic man before that.
I had a
that went
toxic
into
man
another
that
toxic
was
man.
already, we was broken up already. And I could say by the time I was getting with my ex, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I wasn't even having sexual intercourse with my ex anymore. That ex anymore.
Oh, like you still had emotional, but
yeah,
not
like we were still
physical.
communicating. Like I feel like once you get into a new relationship, communication, all that has to stop. I was still
Mhm.
communicating with him, so that's still an open door for, you know, if he was to step it up, you know. But you know, that's I'm like, okay, I'm ready to see what was, because I was just in a mood like I don't want to deal with no one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then I was
You went,
introduced.
mhm.
So what about,
Yeah.
no, I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
You know, I'm not picking up no car. for
No,
that
no, I'm
one.
just listening. I didn't say anything. Yeah, I'm just listening. So,
Don't be.
what-
That's his thing.
No.
That's
Go ahead.
I'm
No,
just
keep going,
listening.
keep
Jonathan,
going.
don't be
I'm
holding
Keep
out.
going, keep
Okay?
going.
I'm
keep
observant.
Going, keep going.
We gonna ask him. We asking questions.
No,
first?
Aaron, I think it's
Keep
Aaron's
going.
turn. I think it's Aaron's turn.
You know, now it's Aaron's turn.
I think it's
Go ahead,
Aaron's turn.
Aaron.
So I met him at one of the corporate gyms that I worked at.
Okay.
And like I said, we were coworkers in the beginning. We'd like talk here and there, and it was like very flirty. And then we just like went on a date, even though we didn't classify it as a date. We kind of more classified it as we're gonna go see each other, and then we'll decide if we're gonna see each other after that, or we'll just like remain friends to like, you know, kind of test drive it before going on a real date. And I broke up with him because I just could not take all of it. Because it was more dealing like with a 4-year-old. You know, he was constantly throwing temper tantrums. You know, he'd be outside my other job all day. And there was one day I was literally hiding in a room, and I was like, I cannot be this person. So like I ended it, and even ending it was like the hardest thing to do because I had no idea what he was going to do. There was one day he was outside my house sleeping at 3 a.m. in his car.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must have been really tired. Then.
Oh my God. And I was like, when I was trying to end it, I was like, I don't know what he's capable of. Because he's also a very strong
'Cause
guy
he
and
put
he's
that
very
pressure on you,
masculine.
even
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
alcohol.
But then there was
so-
no alcohol, and it was just, I didn't realize
that's
the
who he
type
really
of
was.
person he
Wow.
was. He has a very addictive
Naturally.
personality.
You couldn't
Like, we
even
all
blame
have-
it on alcohol.
Yeah. No, you can't at the end. But like we all have addictive personalities. But I think, and his mother was saying it too, like he has, when he goes into relationships, he becomes a very addicted to the person.
So his
So-
mother warned you.
It's yeah. His mother kind of forewarned me in the
He has
first
an
breakup.
addiction
Yeah.
personality.
You didn't listen.
Yeah.
Mommy knows best.
No, I
Mommy
didn't
knows
listen.
best.
And it's funny because I get really along well with like parents when I start dating somebody. And normally I take everything into account. And I was like, oh, I should have taken that into account. Normally I do all the time.
Mhm.
But I like
You know,
finally
I-
broke it off like a few weeks ago.
I think, you know, with people, I'm not even going to just say with men, people in general, when they
Mhm.
find like a comfort zone, and that's whether it's a place, a object, or a person,
Mhm.
they get so over, like, you know, over embellished in it, like, oh, I gotta have this, and it's
Yeah,
just
they
like
just become
when
into
it's an
this tiny
actual
state.
person, they don't know how overwhelming that pressure is. Like, gosh, you put me at this, you don't know what this idea is in my head, and you're like putting me here, and you're thinking it's like I should be honored, and it's just like I didn't ask to be here. Like, I don't even know like how I got here, and it's just like, yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question, because there's a lot of things y'all talking about with the ex. Y'all ever cheated?
Did I ever cheat?
Yeah.
I would never cheat. I don't
Oh,
cheat.
you never cheat? What about you? You ever cheat?
I have.
You cheated?
I'm not gonna lie and say that I haven't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds like you lying though. So pick a card up.
Yeah, you cheated.
Because you
cheated.
clearly just said you cheated
You
like
cheated.
5 minutes ago.
But I cheated.
You clearly
had-
told the
Because
two
you were
dudes
with
that
the
was
guy,
you was
and
already
then
with the
you went
guy.
into the new guy.
I
That's
don't
what
know
it
what you
was.
think
Yeah,
That's
that's what they're
cheating?
calling
That's
it.
cheating. Yeah, you didn't close the door.
So pick a card
That's
up.
cheating.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
But
Eeny,
and
meeny,
then,
miny, mo.
and then hold on,
see.
before you even read that, Erin, when did you cheat? How long ago was it?
I was like in my first relationship, my very first relationship, because, you know, he and I were definitely growing apart, and I knew it was coming to an end. And I thought, okay, I'm giving my attention to somebody else. Will he notice and will he pick that up? And he didn't. And I cheated. I never told him about it. But we did eventually go our separate ways. And then it turns out he cheated on me and had a kid with somebody. So
Wow. Tit for tat.
Ooh.
yeah.
Dang.
But like he apparently did
Had a
it
kid.
before I even did it. So it wasn't like a
okay.
retaliation
Okay.
thing with either one of us.
Y'all didn't
It
even
was
know.
like, yeah, we didn't
So
know
you're
that cheating was going
testing
on.
him, and
Yeah.
look at what the test
Yeah, the kid.
revealed.
Yeah.
He pulled the usher on you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, read the card, please, though.
Oh, you want the
That
card?
Yeah,
the card.
I didn't forget.
Who do you prioritize, your partner or your child? Of course, my child would come first. I
When
don't
that
have
come?
any children, but I would put my child first before my partner any day.
Really?
Wow.
Any day, that's my child. Like,
Okay.
I don't even know why this is a question. Like,
Okay. So you want to read it? We want to read another one?
I mean, I
Okay, so
could honestly.
Thank you very
this
much.
is like-
Thank you very much.
that was just not even.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely not a
random.
question.
Wow.
random.
Name a song that would be on your sex playlist. I actually just was editing my sex
Okay,
playlist.
so let us
You know,
know.
I had
What
to.
song?
DMX? What are we talking about?
Wow, DMX.
It's hard.
Oh,
What are we talking
take
about?
the
What are we
card.
talking about?
Let me see. Let me go to my sexy playlist.
What are we
Sexy
talking
one.
about?
Guys,
Okay.
you guys are so
You
crazy.
gotta give us something.
Let me see.
Well, you can't even say it's the guys because it's the cards.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
card.
It's more
Let's
the
blame it
company
on
who
the
made the
cards.
cards.
Let's blame it on the cards.
It's not me.
You know, y'all bought this.
Did you
game
pre-select
for-
the
No,
cards?
I just, it's
And, like, just
random.
put 'em all at,
Everything
like,
is
the
random.
top?
Everything is random.
You have a playlist too?
For sexy time? No. I just have playlists. Like this gym
Oh.
playlist, this fuck off playlist,
All
this
right,
second
so
Jesus.
mood
I'm just gonna
playlist,
name a
the getting
few
over my ex
songs.
playlist.
I just made I re-edited my daily rotation playlist, so that's what it is. I have Pretty Ricky, Late Night Special, feature Rich Sex, Rihanna, Sex with Me. You can see if you think I'm lying.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
I gotta edit this some more.
We can always just put it on the bottom, right?
Yeah,
The playlist.
it's a lot of Pretty Ricky. I think I
Pretty
really want to
Ricky,
hear
okay.
Pretty Ricky
No,
when
yeah.
Pretty
I'm
Ricky.
getting
On the
my
hotline?
cheeks clapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rihanna.
Okay.
Mhm. So Pretty Ricky and Rihanna is my go-to
go-to.
at the moment. I
Okay.
didn't
That's
finish
go-to.
editing my sexy.
Yeah, it's always at the moment.
That's a
Yeah.
moment.
Because you could have different moods with
You know
different
what it is?
people.
When I listen to all my songs, and then that's when I just add to playlist. Okay, let's add this to the daily rotation. Let's add this to the cheeks clapping.
Yeah.
Different ones.
So,
different ones.
if I would take your phone right now and call your ex and ask them about you, what would they tell? What would they tell me about you?
Honestly, you would. I don't even know what you would even.
What? Now, what would they say?
You ain't gonna call him from
No,
my phone because you ain't gonna have his
if I
number.
would hit him up and then say,
Yeah, what would he say about you?
What would he say
What
about
would he
you?
think? He, from what I've heard, because he done sat down and talked to someone.
They always do.
He don't have really much nice things, and I'm shocked because
You're an angel, right?
right, because I was
Yeah.
really good to. I feel like I was really good to that person,
How
but
could he hate you?
yeah, I don't think he would have much nice to say. I don't think he would have much nice to say, especially if a guy is calling. You calling yourself?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
Erin
they
was
wouldn't say
calling.
Fellas,
anything.
nah, the
You
fellas.
probably would get more information with Erin, honestly.
Nah, the fellas.
Oh yeah,
We-
no, he's
No,
gonna
it's
go
like
in.
girl
He's gonna
talk. It's
go
definitely
in.
like guy talk. They would tell them more, and they'd
I think it's
obviously
the
keep
opposite.
embellishing always.
I feel like when it's a girl, especially a pretty girl, they were like, because you know.
No, but they'll tell them, oh, she did this to me and all these things. And she was so harsh and she said this and whatnot. It's like they're
the
always going to like,
victim.
they're always going to say that they're the victim when in some cases they're not the victim.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a question for you too. You answered the question. Before your ex,
I am the victim. He is not a
What would he
victim.
say?
What would he say?
What would he say about Cole? Say, yo, tell me about Erin. Tell me about Erin real quick.
What he would say about me?
Yeah.
He'd say I'm psychotic. He'd say I'm a terrible person. He'd say I'm so awful that I never did anything for him. I did everything for him.
Okay.
Everything. So he's just gonna like say that I did nothing, that I'm this horrible, terrible person. And you know what? He's gonna say it to the coworkers that I had, and I'm like, okay, say what you want, because why would I want to care anymore? What you, as my ex, have to say about me.
You have to really get to, and that's why I feel like when you start getting over a person, you just start being like, you know, I don't even care what he says. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
me and you are not walking in the same rooms.
Plus, I'm
Not
blocked anyway, so
I
good
mean,
luck
he's
trying to call him.
blocked, so maybe I'm
Damn.
blocked back. I don't know, but yeah, just not even.
And I'm blocked
caring.
on everything. So like Venmo,
He
Zelle.
blocked you on Venmo.
He blocked me on
he's
everything because
vicious.
trying to give you
there's
no
even
bread.
a little thing on my Venmo when he sent me the last of the money that he owed me. He was like, goodbye, I'm blocking you on everything. And this is on my Venmo
Damn.
that my clients see. Because you know, you can't see the amount, but you can see what the person says.
Oh,
And
okay,
like, this is for all my clients to see. And I'm like, you just messed with my business. And I never want a single thing to do with
that's
you
a real
again.
petty move
What is
right
the
there.
craziest
That's a
thing
petty
you?
move.
I'm actually got. What
Oh.
is the craziest thing you had to block someone on?
The craziest thing?
Yeah, like
Like
you know, you
constant-
block. Of course, social media, phone. That's typical. Email will probably be the next up
Oh,
level.
you
But
mean
then,
that.
what's the craziest thing you had to like block someone on? I mean, I didn't have to, but I just blocked someone on PlayStation just in case you ever get the thought.
Oh, you gotta
Right,
do
me.
it on
Trying to
everywhere
hit you up on
just in
2K.
case.
Oh
Play
yeah,
Call
that's
of
what
Duty.
I'm saying. I was in like everywhere mode, so it was like PlayStation. TikTok wasn't lit yet.
Uh-huh.
TikTok wasn't lit yet, so now I just be like,
Oh, now Instagram has
Mm.
that new thing where you can block the accounts that they make
oh
in the
yeah,
future.
yeah. Do you want to block all
Yeah.
the accounts? See, that wasn't available.
That wasn't a thing.
That wasn't
just became a thing.
Yeah,
These kids don't know nothing.
No.
Y'all seem like remember, let me ask you, do y'all consider yourselves like alpha women that take charge?
Now I
Or
am.
more submissive? Or you like alpha or submissive?
I was very submissive.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm very much alpha female.
What,
Like that's
why-
what
so why-
I
why
told
did you
the
suddenly
guy.
change?
Why did you change?
Because I think it's always been there. It was just very like deep down. And it wasn't until I was in this last relationship that I was like, I need to stop giving into the other person always. Stop giving them all my time, all my energy. Because like people saw me when I was in a relationship with him and when I was out of a relationship with him. And there's like a huge difference to my mood. Like I was very pale because he was just taking all my
vampire.
energy. Yeah, he like took everything. He took my sleep, he took my energy, he took my mental ability. I was like constantly dragging and tired and working like 4 jobs 6
Should've
days a
got more
week.
pineapple juice.
So what about you? Do you consider yourself an alpha female, submissive? Like
I
what's your-
am an alpha female, but I can choose when to turn it on and turn it off. And I would like to be submissive to my man because it's like my man, with me being alpha and I'm looking at my man as my partner, you're supposed to be an alpha. So we're supposed to be matching each other energy.
So it's conditional.
So yeah, so it's just like, you know, I want to be submissive to my man. And it's just like, I want to give my man anything he needs, and I want my man to give me anything I need.
Yeah, you want it
But-
like a 2-way street, not
yeah,
just
like I don't
want
want to just sound like, because when you hear the word submissive, like I'm okay with being, like if I feel like you're a good leader, then yeah, like I'm okay with letting you lead.
So it's conditional.
Yeah, I
Conditional
guess.
femininity.
Yeah, it's conditional.
Oh, okay. We got to start from break down, like build a bear, like break down the type of man that you like head to toe. Just break it
I'm
down.
still
Like,
working
what we
on that
going?
list.
Where we going with
Honestly, I'm
Let's
still
start with the
working-
physical first.
Yeah, like head to toe. Just break
Head
it
to
down.
toe. Height,
Black, white,
you know,
Russian.
black,
I'm-
white.
Why you
I'm
gotta bring up Russian?
tall. He's getting personal.
Like, we got to break it down. No, I just threw it out there. I just threw it out there.
My
Sure you
bad.
did.
That was
I
random.
like
That was random.
subconsciously.
That was random.
Subconscious.
How
That was
tall are
random.
you?
I'm 5'7".
Yeah, you up there.
Okay.
You up there.
So I need a guy at least 5'9", 5'10".
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You know, when I put on heels,
Okay, I'll give you that.
you
Yeah, he definitely
are
gotta be
either
taller.
my height or taller. So
Why every woman says that though?
Because we go out and I want to go out with you when we go out on dates. I like wearing sneakers. Like, this is my comfortable wear, but this is not what I want to wear when I go out and dress up. So when I have on heels, I want my man to be either my height or taller than me. It's not saying I feel less of you as a man, because I've dealt with men that were shorter when I put on heels. But it's just like, I just didn't really like that.
You didn't like the look, the image.
Yeah, I just didn't really like that. But it's not saying like it was nothing wrong with him. But
It's like a societal thing.
Yeah, I was just like, I want you to be a little taller than me. I feel like shorter men have a different, the Caesar, Napoleon. I said Caesar, Napoleon complex.
Absolutely.
So I'm just like, yeah, no.
I understand.
All right.
What else? What else?
Just
the height?
So that's the height. I'm slim, so I am not into fat dudes at all. I tried to date a fat dude. It was really
Did you say
annoying.
that's your-
So what about like race and age?
I can't deal with someone younger than me. I need a certain experience.
What's
I
the
need a
range?
certain 30 and up. 30 and up.
What race? Like what races?
I used to joke about, no offense, Erin. I used to joke about
She
dealing with
mixed. She good.
I'm mixed.
She all
I have
over
like
the place.
everything in me.
I
We're
used to
fine.
joke about dealing with I don't know if it's Walter.
Call?
A white guy or an Asian guy. But I think I want to stay in my culture. And it's
That's what's up.
And then with the previous episode, there was a guest that mentioned that she needed a man's beard to connect. So that was her. Like, I'm serious. That was her requirement.
I mean,
She was like, no, he has to have the beard and it has to
She wasn't
connect.
playing.
Also, I can't have like any patchy
No.
points.
Yeah, she was
to-
like, look, you better put the oil.
that's kind of
get
judging.
it.
Shout out to Jenny.
That's judging a man on his hair.
I mean,
Yeah, so can he be?
I do judge a man.
Build a
I
beard.
do
Just
judge
build
a
a beard.
man on his hair, because if your top is if I start seeing your top starting to space out and you're my age, like both of you guys have full top hairs. Y'all lucky.
I just have
you'd
to let
be
it out.
surprised.
No, I'm good.
You
I'm good.
good, Walter? You good, Walter? But yeah, a lot of tops are starting to fade. I don't think guys see that when we see it at the
Genetics.
top. And I'm just like, oh, you got about 3 more years, baby. I don't know if I'm like,
It's
I don't know how it's
stressful.
going
New
to
York
look.
is stressful.
It's okay,
Yeah,
fellas. Just keep your hat on. Keep your hat
Yeah,
on.
it's
Man.
just like, the hairlines start fading. They talk about our edges. I be like, babe, I give you 3 more years. 'Cause I got cousins that when they was your age and they had that hairline, they didn't last very long in the game. But
You going crazy right now.
the top missing, I'm not for it. I'm sorry.
So he got to have a full head of hair.
Honestly, and then the people that I know that the top started missing, they just went bald, and that's be another sign. You think you slick? You tried to just cut it all off so we wouldn't see.
So you want to see it going
So
away.
do you require hair or you'll go with
I
the
need
baldy?
to see. I need to see what type of hair you have, and I'm
Okay.
not saying like, oh, if you have a bad texture of hair. No, I need to see you have full hair. Like you're not
For the kids,
yeah,
you know?
for the kids.
Gotta pass it
Okay,
on.
got you. And does he have to have a beard?
No, I mean it doesn't matter with the beard. It
All
has
right,
to be
good.
well groomed.
Good,
I'm
good,
gonna say
good.
that
Yeah, it can be
because now they
scraggly.
have stuff for the beards. They have
Yeah.
Yeah.
shampoo.
Exactly.
Castor
They
oil?
have all this
Yeah,
stuff.
there's like
So
a
it's just
whole thing.
like
There's kits.
Yeah, that's
I'm not saying you have to do that, but it would add on as a bonus that wow, you not only take care of your hair. Your hair is not only all there, but you shampooing your beard. Oh, good babe.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in here today. Man.
Yeah.
So Erin, build a beard. So head to toe. How you
Head
like
to
your
toe.
hair? Your turn.
Start with the top.
Because she just
Do you need it?
I know.
she went deep.
Start with the top. Do you need hair
Yeah.
or no hair?
So it really depends on the person. I
Mhm.
mean, I do like hair, but like
But it's a requirement. Get to
it
it.
depends on how you
not
look.
want
I
it.
can't
Just
give
get
you.
to it.
I
You know
can't
it's a
tell
question.
you.
You know what you like.
I mean,
Just
I've
answer the
dated
question.
guys
You know
who
what you
were
like.
Don't leave me out there.
I'm not leaving you out there. No, if
Yo.
obviously they're
You know what
balding,
you
like
like.
if obviously I can't see it, I'm not gonna be able to like go after you type of situation. But like I've dated guys who were bald. I've dated guys who had like losing it, but they were like also in their 40s, so it was like kind of understandable that they were
Mhm.
losing it.
Okay.
But no, I do like a guy who has a beard and hair if it looks good on him. That's the real issue for me. Is it has to look good on him
See, I said well groomed.
You did.
Yeah.
I heard you. Going
because
down.
they could not look good. with
Okay.
it.
Body type.
Body type. Does
I
he have
like
to be fit?
muscular.
Muscular.
He
okay.
has to be fit.
No
if
fat
I'm in
dudes.
the gym No, I did it once and I just didn't like it. He wasn't like
Okay.
fat, but he wasn't like
He wasn't fit.
Fit
He was just loose.
yeah, he was loose. He had like a few rolls.
I feel like we're both slim. So we're
Yeah.
slim. So
I'll give you that.
I'm not saying like slim girls don't like big guys, but
Yeah.
I'm just like in the
You
bedroom.
have your preference.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
You can suffocate.
It's
yeah,
it's
you're
funny.
Nah,
not-
it's like serious. It's a serious
It's
matter.
funny
though.
how they keep saying in the bedroom. I
That's-
always hear
it always
that,
goes
right?
back to that. It
Always
reverts to
hear
that.
that.
You know,
like
like,
if he's on top.
It reversed back
if he's on top.
Okay, we went to the beach and I saw everything and I was just like,
It didn't turn you on. It didn't turn you
Oh,
on.
that's horrible. No,
and
that's
also I remember one time looking at a guy, I'm like, your butt bigger than mine.
Jeez.
And I was just like,
Men-
I'm fake jealous, and I'm just like, yeah, no, this is not.
Nah, but a lot of men
work.
getting BBLs and stuff like that.
No,
So-
That is
It's
true,
a lot
yeah.
of guys that's
So you never know.
born. They like you think that genetically hips and butt is passed down just to the daughters. Sometimes the
yeah,
guy,
sometimes it
Doesn't
goes
matter.
to the dude. I've seen a
Sometimes it
couple
goes
of
to the dude, and I
dudes
saw
who
guys,
have
and
like
not saying
much
he-
better butts.
not saying he was fat. And I'm like, yo, if you was a female, you have the wagon.
Yeah.
You
He'll be a
like,
baddie.
you fake cakey.
He'll be a
and
baddie.
niggas, guys who get offended that you would say that. And I'm just keeping it to myself. But
Nah,
you say
hey,
to your
nah, don't
homegirls,
keep it to
like, yo,
yourself.
he had a little booty on him. I'm like, his butt was bigger than mine, girl. And I'm telling my
Yeah.
homegirl
yeah, then that makes you insecure.
Yeah. So you said he got to be fit and shape.
Yeah, he's got to be fit. I'm a personal trainer. He got to be fit. He got to
makes
want
sense.
to go to the gym. It can't be like a thing of, oh, I want to get into the gym. Can you help me with it? Because like that's gonna deter me really quickly.
Matching
Okay.
lifestyles.
Yeah, it's matching lifestyles,
That makes
but like
Your lifestyles, you work out,
Yeah.
you're healthy, so it's just like you. Of course, that makes
he
sense.
doesn't
that you
need to be
need-
healthy. I mean, like I eat like a fat ass
No,
all the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying as far as
You
like
need to look healthy.
fit.
I just look healthy. I'm not actually healthy. We'll go do a blood
Right.
test right now. You're
Oh
gonna
my
see
goodness.
it's off.
Listen, we drinking
Yeah,
Casamigos pretty
yeah.
early, so
Don't worry, it's got like no calories except for the sugar and the pineapple and lemonade, so
yeah.
we're good.
other than that, we good to go.
They gonna think you're healthy on camera. You got the thighs out and shit.
Exactly.
So you good. Like trust me, you good.
So what about the height? What we talking
Cause
about?
you like what 4'3", 4'5"? How tall
Nah,
are
they
you?
coming for you.
How tall are you?
How tall are you?
Because I know
You
got
sitting down though,
4'3".
so you know.
Wow.
How tall? How tall we
tall?
talking?
I'm 5'2".
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a 5'4" with
Okay.
the 2 inches on my shoes.
Oh, you are.
Yes. So I did date a guy who was about my height, and I like when we went out and I wore heels, it was actually okay being a little bit taller than
Alright,
him. But
cool,
I
good.
do find
Everyone
men
says it.
attractive either being my height or being taller than me, because that's just what I've always liked. That preference is not going to change.
All right.
Like, yeah, you could slightly be a little shorter with me, but the other thing too is you have to be secure with me being in heels. If you're gonna, because I remember I had a girlfriend who dated a guy and she was taller than him, like by about 6 inches. She was never allowed to wear heels.
Wow.
And I
Never
was
allowed.
like, no man is gonna put that on
Never
me.
allowed. So what she was wearing? Chinese slippers? What
No,
she
she
was
was
wearing?
wearing like flats
That's
all the
definitely
time and like
giving-
Converse.
You said
Oh,
So
Napoleon?
like, yeah,
it's definitely
allowed.
giving
That's what
Napoleon.
he said to her. Allowed.
Yeah.
I was like, no man can tell
'Cause
me
she
not
could
to
easily
wear
just
heels.
like palm his head and
Yeah, exactly.
Sun him and stuff like. So
Yeah.
what about race? What we talking? Black, white, Russian? Little
like-
Russian dude?
Okay, so the Russian
What we talking?
dude, I like he's
You told
Like-
one story about the Russian dude.
I know,
Nah,
and then they
nah,
come
nah,
try
nah,
with
nah, That's a common theme on this show.
I know. So I like white and I like Spanish. Apparently, I've dated like 3 Puerto Rican guys in a row, and apparently that became my thing for a while because they
Okay.
were very white-looking Puerto Ricans
Okay.
Okay.
because they didn't go back to Puerto Rico ever.
Mhm.
So a white guy that speaks Spanish, that's your thing.
Mhm.
I do occasionally like a Spanish guy.
What's your nationality?
So I'm Trinidadian, Indian, French, and German.
That's
Oh,
a
wow.
lot.
Yeah. But I've always liked white guys. And then I recently came into liking Spanish guys. And apparently the other race that I've dated a lot while them being white is Italian.
Okay.
So it's like a lot of Italians and Puerto Ricans in my previous dating history.
All right. So we'll be sure to pass your Instagram
God.
out to the white guys.
So to
out there.
all the white Puerto Rican looking dudes out there, Aaron's DMs are wide open.
Wide
get, in
open.
That, get in that back door. Pun
Yeah, but
intended.
but
Intended.
remember,
Who's
it's
complaining about
not.
this?
We're
Now you
not
see
looking for a
why.
relationship, so like,
Oh,
don't
we'll
even
get to
try
that. We'll
come
get to that.
me.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Don't
We'll
mix
get to that.
business.
If we're gonna put the
with
dating
pleasure.
questionnaire on there, we're gonna put it at the
This
We'll
bottom.
get to that.
So y'all just described the type of men that y'all like build a bit basically.
Surface.
Yeah,
Yeah.
service
What about
level.
income?
So
Built
what?
a bear.
Yeah, I was just about to say, salary wise, how much you got to make?
I don't have a number on like how much salary they have to make.
Oh,
You
come
got
on,
a
have
range.
to
come
be-
You got a range.
No, they have to. First of all, you either got to be making in my range or more.
What's
But
the range?
60,000 a
What's the top?
year.
To whatever.
I mean, to whatever. Yeah, 60 and up. I don't ask a guy what his salary is.
It's gonna show, and y'all
It's
get
very
it.
doesn't-
rude to ask
no,
it
'cause
until
you
you get
could
to
be
know
surprised.
them, though.
It would show a guy that's making 30K a year could be showing more, like he can be paying more for stuff than a guy that's making 70K or 100K because he could be working on saving for something or trying to get like a building or buy a building. Like I have someone that's trying to buy a building now.
He's not buying no
That's
We
building.
talking about the average man. We're not talking about no
That's not
extravagant.
his salary. I'm saying someone over
Okay.
over 70K. But yeah, no, I don't really judge someone on salary. I judge someone on their motivation, honestly.
But
Like,
motivation for what?
Ain't
though?
no motivation out here.
like if you doing something with
Definitely
yourself,
not.
and also I put a timeline on it, because don't sit up here and be like you jumping from dream to dream. I'm not dream chasers, so if you have a plan and I see you're really executing, like say if it was even this podcast, like if I know you're doing a podcast and I see you're investing and I see you're building on it, of course it's not going to be an overnight success, but I see this is what you're investing in and I see you're taking it serious, then yeah, because a lot of people, I've dealt with guys that be telling you a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, I'm gonna open a food truck, or I'm gonna do this, and it just be like,
Never see it.
I don't want to tell you, like, okay, babe, like, you know, as a female, sometimes you jump up as an alpha female at that, and like, babe, you should be doing this. Like, are you trying to help them? You trying to be a part of that business? I'm the type of female that sits back. Where you at with this plan you talking about? Because you brought this to me, like you. So now I'm seeing you, and then now as time goes by, and then just like, well, I feel like if I was in your position, I would have did this. Or I would be here by now. I would have, you know, and I don't see you doing none of that. So I'm just like, okay, you got to catch on to it's just talk. So I kind of wait to be involved in a guy's dreams or plans. What y'all about to say? Because
Yeah, no, I
both
have
you
I have
and
something-
Diallo and Jonathan,
No,
you
no,
see it. You
what-
see it in their faces,
No,
right?
because what you're saying is like I understand what you're saying because you're sitting here with us. Like we're a little different, but like the average man, like he might just want to be a teacher and that's his dream, being a teacher for the rest of his life. And he's gonna make listen,
That's
another
their
way he's
day
gonna make
job.
50,000 for the rest of his life. He said, "Yo, this is what I want to do. It's my passion. It's my dream." When I was
Yeah,
a
but
kid.
he's got summers off,
It's
so
something
that's
to
a
do.
benefit.
I haven't met that man
But you're
yet.
talking about food trucks and business side, but that's very rare.
Most
That's
people
very
can't,
rare.
Most people can't execute on this.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest.
No,
Most people can't
I'm
execute
just
on
saying
things.
as
very
I
rare.
gave that as an example of what you're like. If you have aspiration outside of your day job, if you're happy with your day job, then of course I'm not questioning you or anything. Like you're happy with your day job, you have a plan. If you have a plan with your day job, because you could be a security guard. Like, yeah, I'm doing security right now, but I'm about to take the test to be the fire XYZ of the building, and that jumps me up a 40K.
But what if he
So
doesn't want to do that?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, I gotta have a man with a plan.
What if his plan is, yo, I want to be a teacher for the rest of my life. I'm gonna make 60K for the rest of my life. That's
Then
it.
I can't be with you.
Okay. Erin, what salary? What
salary?
salary you want?
What's salary?
What's the minimum?
Yeah. We ain't forget about you.
What's the
Don't try to be
minimum?
quiet.
50,000?
But you don't try to be quiet. Like,
Higher.
Higher than 50,000?
okay, you keeping it real though. What, like what?
I
Give-
am keeping
give
it
a range.
real.
Give a range.
75?
Higher.
You say,
80?
what?
We'll start at 80.
Jesus.
We'll start
Okay,
at 80.
minimum 80.
Minimum
Okay.
80.
You have to think
Because
about
I've
after
been-
taxes too.
You got to make a lot
You
because
gotta make
I
some.
like, I want to go on vacation. I want to travel the world. You know, like today, I'm going to a sushi spot. It's like $80 per person.
Mhm.
You know, if you want to come with me, like you either got to pay the full bill or we splitting it.
Mhm.
But like if you splitting it, like nothing's happening
Yeah,
because everybody got.
Okay, if you split a bill with a man, you gonna respect him?
50-50.
He's a friend then.
Okay,
He's
there you
not.
go.
He's not someone I'm
Yo,
seeing.
fellas,
So-
you gotta take charge.
I split bills with my homeboys.
So hold on. So 50-50 is
Uh-huh.
unacceptable to you
When
I
dating,
mean, as my man.
when dating.
As my
because
man.
talking about
sometimes
boyfriend.
If we didn't
I pick up the
communicate,
bill.
Sometimes
if
what?
I'm not
Sometimes I pick up the full
communicating.
bill. I'm
Oh.
not saying he's gonna pick up the full bill every time.
But that's when you're comfortable with him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I'm comfortable with him.
Yeah, okay, I understand
Yeah.
that. That's when he proved himself already, and it's
Exactly.
like,
That's when I
alright.
know that you
Are
have
we
money
speaking
in your
in the
bank
dating
account
stage?
consistently.
Yeah, we talking about dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dating
Somebody.
stage, then absolutely fucking not. Then like, if you asking me to come out, or if I'm asking you to come out, I guess it depends on if I'm asking you to come out, depending on the situation. Because I can ask you to come out with me to friends. Of course, I'm not asking you to pay the bill, but we're in dating, so it's always a point to prove yourself.
Mm-hmm. You gotta show.
So dating, people always leave out the part where you're supposed to show what the relationship is going to be like. So
Yeah,
it's just
that's what-
like when you're not, when like any sign, I'm like, is this what dating you is going to be like? Your card is going to be declining. You're going to be sitting up here.
That's what happened to me last night.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, you're going to sit up here asking me
Crazy.
if someone could cash up you or pay this and
It's a
I'll pay you
jungle.
back.
It is a jungle.
It's just really
It's
like
just awful out there.
setting a sign. And that's what people need to realize with dating. Everything is crucial. That's why I'm like, don't date if you're not ready. How you asking me to come somewhere you want me to pay?
That's his generation.
What
You gotta
generation?
understand, like
You
with-
asked me to come to the spot and you expect me to pay?
I mean, Erin went on a date last night and she
I'm
paid.
always prepared to pay for myself. But for you talk about pay for everyone?
Yeah, you
Not
gotta-
as in me and my date?
You gotta understand, it's not like traditional anymore. It's modern men. So modern men is like 50-50 everything.
Who says it's not traditional anymore?
It's not.
See, that's
You
why
see how I operate.
this
She went on
is
a date
what I
last night. What happened
say.
on the date last night?
Yeah, she paid.
Yeah,
Because
to
she's
pay
an
the
alpha
full
woman.
thing.
This
She's
is
a-
2020.
No, that's not why I paid. Let's get into that. That's not why I paid.
Oh, I thought that's why you paid. My
we
fault.
get caught up in, I think, in the
I
concept
said I could
of
pay.
society, like the society of this is what you're supposed to do as a woman, as in society. You know what? It's feminist movement. We can pay the bill. Pay the bill. It's just like what was you gonna do if I didn't have the money? So I just be wanting to see how
He's gonna
things.
wash dishes.
I just want to see how things play out.
He's
You
gonna wash
better.
the dishes.
I just want to see how
I
things.
should have made him
play
do that
out.
last
So
night.
basically, okay, so all
This
these.
is Kanye West said it. Dishes in the back. You better roll up your sleeve.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, that's kind of crazy that you said that. Because you got to understand, y'all not the only women that want these men. A lot of women want them. So how are y'all putting yourselves out there to stand out amongst the other women?
I mean, I'm just myself now. I'm
Like,
just
What
would
does
you
that
approach
mean?
a man? Like, would you approach a man? Like, you
I've
see the man
approached
in
a
your dream,
man.
the man in your dreams, right? Where that camera is right
okay.
there.
It's gonna be very awkward when I approach him
What would
because
you
I've
say?
done it a
What would
couple
you
of
say?
times.
What
Like,
would
what
you
would you
say?
say?
He's like, "Hi." No, so one time what I did
Oh.
is I took my business card and I passed him my business
That's
card.
smart. No, that's not bad. That's actually
And did he
Wait,
did he call you?
He hit me up. Yeah.
That was smooth. That was
Did
smooth.
That's
y'all,
smart.
did y'all end up linking up?
Yes.
And how
We
did
did
that go?
last night.
Oh,
After
last
the
night.
date that went wrong.
That's the date where you have to
he
pay.
made you pay 50-50.
Yeah.
So now he's gone.
You see that?
Now he's
Look
gone.
at that.
Benefit
You
of
approach.
having
You approach. Look at that.
options.
You approach on that business stuff, and he was like, "Okay, cool. You want to approach on some business stuff? I'll make you pay."
Yeah, you
Oh,
got money,
no,
right? You
that
got a
wasn't the
business.
one I went on the date with. Let's be clear. There was a second date after the first date.
And what happened?
The second date was the one that I gave my business card to. And we didn't actually go out. I just went to his hotel room.
Okay.
All right. Hey.
That's for the Patreon. That's for the OnlyFans. So we can't really talk
But
about
that's
that
the
right
one
now.
that I approached and gave my business card to. The one that I went out on a date last night, he approached me like 3 times in the gym. And that's when I knew like, oh, okay. He like actually wants to talk to me type situation. Because the first time you approach me in the gym and I'm working out, I'm like, no, please go away. I can't
Yeah,
deal with
the gym
this.
is kinda
There's too many
awkward, yeah.
people who do this to
It's
me. I
kinda
can't deal with
awkward,
this.
yeah.
The second time, it was like, oh, okay, he seems nice. And the third time, he gave me his phone number. But then last night, when his corporate card declined, I was like,
Jeez,
are you serious?
got canceled real quick.
So
And
why
then I
didn't
was
he-
like, I asked, like, don't you have another card? And
Yeah.
he's like, that's the one I use. It's like, you don't have another card? And I was just like over it. I didn't want to cause a big scene because I could have caused a scene and I didn't want to be that person.
That girl.
Yeah. Because nobody wants to cause a scene about like someone paying a bill. So I was like, fuck it. I'll put my card down. I'll get him to sell me today.
And I like how he took you to a fancy restaurant and
No,
made
no,
you
I
pay.
picked the restaurant.
Oh,
Let's
you
just go
chose
with
the
that.
restaurant.
I chose the restaurant, of
Wait,
course.
why are you
Because she's
choosing
an
the
alpha.
restaurant?
She's
Oh
an
yeah,
alpha.
she's alpha.
That's right. So Zaza, don't disengage. Like, what's good with you? Like, how do you find this
I'm
man?
still here.
How do you find this man? Like, do you see him right there? What do you say?
Honestly,
Your chance, chance right there.
you get into a space where I'm at, where it's like I've been in relationships. I know I can get into relationships. I have options, but it's just like now I'm just like I want to work on me. I want to build on me. But then it's like you get kind of caught up on building on you that you still got to remember to take time to be like, if you want a relationship, if you want children, if you want this, you still got to put yourself out there to a certain extent, even if it's not about business or money, because you get so caught up on like, you know what, if it ain't about this, you ain't seeing me.
Yeah, okay. I gotta go.
But I think like, well, let me
Oh,
just
okay.
interject a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, go
Like
ahead,
it's also
Erin.
self-care too. Like you don't
Mm.
always have to go out. Like, because sometimes it takes more mentally to go out than it
I
should.
go through this mental process
Yeah.
of me like telling myself,
Like, is it worth
why
it?
Like,
do
if
I
it's
need
worth
to
it,
get dressed? Do
I'm
I
about
have
to
look this
spend
way?
this amount of money,
Yeah.
and you guys are not. But I'm not just counting the cabs or
You
whatever.
gotta count the time too. The
food,
time it takes to get ready.
The makeup,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm
You gotta
about
take a
to.
shower.
Yeah,
I gotta
sometimes you gotta take a
makeup,
shower.
You gotta take a
I
shower
gotta
sometimes,
get
yeah.
dressed. I gotta get my hair. You know, if
Yeah,
it's
what do I have to
done.
do earlier in the day to also get ready
So
for
it's
this?
just like,
You gotta go through
damn,
the pain of the
just
hills.
for,
Yeah.
and it's
this
just
one,
like,
this
it's
2
not
hour
saying
thing.
you don't want to do this or you're lazy. It's just like,
It's just
okay,
not
what
worth
is the
it, yeah.
reward?
The
Just to
process.
say I met a guy, and then who's to say this guy
It's worth it.
is just going to be another guy texting my phone,
And then 3
like,
days he
What you
disappears.
doing?
Yo, how you doing? What's up? What you ate today? What you ate
Yeah.
today?
Babe,
What's
I
lunch?
miss you.
Or
I
the
love
constant
you.
question that they like to ask every day: how are you every single
What
day.
you doing? Like they just want, and I
Come
get
chill.
so guys
chill.
don't
Come chill.
understand.
Come
No,
chill.
yeah, they
Come
have
chill,
to
come
chill.
chill.
Frustrating.
Come
The
chill.
what you doing every day or good, like just the
Good morning.
basic.
What you want to hear? What you want to hear?
She wants to say good morning, Queen.
No,
what you want
I
to hear
didn't like-
on a daily basis?
Good morning, Queen.
I want you to build on a conversation. I want you to remember what I said to you the other day.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
give
That's
me the basics.
Yeah, not the how are you every
every
single
day.
day.
Like, good
Like,
morning.
what did you do
what
today?
You doing?
What are you doing now? Can we talk about a conversation?
Like-
Did you read a book yesterday?
real
Did you go see a movie?
So like,
Like-
for example,
like
if
you went and
if
saw
I
a
said I
movie.
read a book
Yeah.
last night, or if I watched a
about
movie,
it.
like what's the last movie? Ant-Man. Like if I said I
Yeah.
watched Ant-Man last night,
Ask about it.
ask about
Exactly.
it. Now you're asking me today, another day, what you doing? You didn't even like finish my day yesterday, so it's just like
Yo, so fellas,
me on to the next day.
as you can see, you gotta add some creativity when you're talking to these women. You can't come with the same basic conversation every single day. What's up? How you doing? What you ate?
It's just that gives lazy when you
Mhm.
just be like, oh, what you doing?
You know,
I miss
it's
you,
more
or-
of because you know when you text somebody, it's more of a okay. I was doing all these things today, so I'm just gonna hit her up at like what is it 4 p.m. because I didn't talk to her earlier in the day, so I have nothing to do. So let me hit her up with the hey, how are you today? What did you do
Let me
today?
just sit. I feel like guys have their like morning rotation.
Yeah.
When they send a whole bunch
I mean, I'm
of
not gonna lie, I
girls.
have my own rotation, so
Oh,
like I
Jesus.
get it.
Okay,
Aaron, we're not talking about us, though.
I know, but
We're
I'm
not
just
talking about
saying,
us.
like
that Casamigo hitting. So,
it's not even actually hitting it. Like I'm surprised.
Like how much of them do you
Now
find
he's
attractive?
interested.
Let's say
It's so
R&B
funny
Wednesdays.
because
Yeah.
I'm crying. I
Towel.
don't go to R&B Wednesday, Jonathan. Don't start
You
this.
got a towel, Taj. or something.
Yeah.
No, like I could say the last guy that approached me, he looked when I first saw him, he looked attractive. But then once I gave him my number and then once we was talking, I found him less attractive. So
Because of the things he was saying.
the things he was saying. And
Yeah, that like they look nice, and it's like the same with the Russian
Yeah.
dude last night. He seemed really nice, and then all of a sudden he would start saying things or make the really insensitive jokes about his penis, and I was just like,
Wait, what?
that's when he told you it's soft,
yeah,
the soft
that's the part
penis.
that you missed. Yeah. So it's like we were like having sex, and then he would like because we had to stop for a moment, he made a joke about his penis getting soft. I'm like, what?
Jesus Christ.
And then like when he sent me the text this morning, it was like, oh, you know, I was getting soft and you were like teasing me about going back. I was like, first off, I told you that we were not having sex last night very early on into the date. Like you knew that was not happening.
They
And I
think that's
told
a
you very
tease or that's a
clear. Yeah.
joke.
Yeah. It's not a tease or a joke when it comes out of my mouth. Things that I say are quite literal. Is it okay to break up with someone through a text message?
Okay, that's
Oh,
kind of good.
my gosh.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Got to be face to face. If you're in a relationship with someone,
Oh, but okay,
Out of
so
respect.
that doesn't say it in the card though. So we're talking about like dating or in a
We talking
relationship.
about-
It says if you're
It's all-
dealing with
it's all-
someone,
all-
Yeah.
all in
don't
one, all in one.
overthink it because they will have you overthinking it.
All in one.
I'll
If you're
always
dealing with
overthink it.
someone, if you're dealing with someone, is it okay to cut it off in a text message? Also, I want to ask your opinion on ghosting.
I've ghosted and I've been ghosted a lot, so it's
I'm
like
not
50-50
against
on that.
ghosting. So you're 50.
I think it's very hurtful to ghost, but I've done it in certain cases where someone's
feel
being
like
like
everybody don't
way
deserve
too
an
much, like way
explanation.
too over the top, like clingy. And that's when I ghost. And I probably shouldn't, but it's like they also can't take no for an answer. Like my ex, he could not take no for an answer.
The text message though, is it okay? Would you say yes or no?
I think it depends on the circumstance. That's what I'm gonna say.
so let's say you've gone on you've been dating someone, like let's say for a month.
Okay.
Things have been a bit rocky, and you're like, all right, I'm not really feeling this. And, you know, from the way you guys are, it seems as if you guys are already in transition mode while you're already with the guy, right? So
Yeah.
you're already thinking about the next guy, right? You're already thinking about the next guy.
Yeah.
Did you say Zaza?
Oh, no, I didn't. I thought,
You know
Right. So
what?
you're already thinking about the next guy while you're with the current
No,
guy.
you heard that.
So at that point, do you just send a text like, hey, we're done. It's been a good month, but goodbye. Or do you meet with him in person and tell him what's going on?
I mean, I think it really, again, depends on that type of relationship, but I would probably try to meet them in person. But if it's a thing of our schedules can't like sync for like a week, I'm just going to do it over text because it's like, I can't wait a week to tell you that I just don't want to deal with you anymore.
okay.
And then for the ghosting, that one you I think you had mentioned, like if if the person's being a bit too much,
Yeah.
then you'll just ghost.
I'll just ghost. I'll just block them on all my social media because like, and I know like people are going to be like, oh, you're such a hypocrite. I'm like, no, I've been clingy in certain situations too. And people have absolutely ghosted me. Men have ghosted me 90% of the time.
Damn, that's a very high
It
percentage.
is a very high number,
What
but
you be
that's not
doing?
when I was acting clingy. That's when I was actually like not showing too much of an interest because, you know, work comes first. Putting money in my bank account comes 1st. So like I can't be all over you all the time. Like, oh, hey, can you do Saturday at like 6? Like, no, I actually have a work event that I have to go to, so I might not be able to do it. Like we could do something Sunday. Oh, I'm not available Sunday. Like sometimes it's just things just don't work out.
Business.
As a female, Erin, you can, if you want to back me up on this, we get constant options. We get constant options of
that's-
guys.
Serial numbers.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what y'all get. Y'all just get random.
I'll
Whether
comment
it's-
about that. Go ahead. I'll comment about that. I'll comment
Whether
about that.
it's a lot or a little bit, I feel like, because I have this conversation with my homeboys, like, they feel like it's easier for girls to go
Yeah,
out
I've heard that a
and
lot.
get- They always argue
right.
with me. But I'm like,
Yeah, like a
they
guy
be
was
like,
telling
we
me the other
don't
day about
want it,
Tinder.
but we still have options. We may not want those options, but we still have options as opposed to a guy don't have no options. They just have to go with,
What-
if they want to have sex tonight, they got to go,
What
they
wants
have
them?
to
What wants
pursue
them?
whoever's in their phone and hope that that person
Whoever
responds.
wants them.
But like with a female, we could just hit up anyone like, hey, you want to come over? And of course that guy is going to run and come over. But I'm like, that's not the guy I'm looking for though.
Exactly. That's the issue.
So, yeah.
You want the quality man. You don't just want a random man.
Right. I don't want the guy that's just going to jump up and do what I say, or, you know,
Which
like
is
that's
most
why I
dudes.
said
Mm-hmm.
I want a man to show their leadership qualities and show that they can take the lead or they can, you know. So it's just like when you're like running and just like, damn, that's all it took for you to
'Cause
like
if
get
they-
excited at your age at that. Like we're not teenagers anymore. We're grown adults. So it's just like, I'm not saying like if I was to hit you up randomly in the middle of the night and I don't really speak to you that often, just like how you would look at a girl as a whole, like, yeah, I could just hit this girl up anytime. I ain't speak to her like that. I would look at you the same way. Like, you ain't got shit going on. Like, you just available for
Because
me
if he'll jump
whenever
up
I
for
hit you up.
he'll jump for another woman and another woman and another woman. He'll jump for anybody.
His
basically, what you're
option
saying.
is, you know, so it's just like, you know, it's a double standard with females, but y'all need to keep in mind that we think the same way. Like, oh, so this guy was just available. Like, he had nothing going on. He didn't even fight with my time. I told him 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. He didn't even say, well, babe, I can't make it at that
he's
time.
outside your door
He's
at 9
like,
o'clock. He's
Babe,
outside your door.
You don't want me there at 9? You want me there at 9:30 or at 10 o'clock exactly? Like,
8:58.
Yeah. He's
You
already
know?
hopping in the cab.
right. So I'm just
8:58.
like, you know, I'm just like, at this point, I'm really more so on energy and vibe and connection and just seeing where it go. Because I'm like, I have an idea what I think I want in a man, but, you know, you don't never know what you want until it's presented to
Just
you.
in front of you.
That's not Netflix, though, but
All right.
okay.
All right. So the ladies have moved on and you're working on a project right now for your business.
Yeah, like I do drinks. I already did tongue twisters drinks. That's something I started in like 2017. And now I'm moving on. I did desserts and edibles. So now I'm doing like the pre-rolls, Zaza pre-rolls. And yeah, that's my next move.
And if anyone needs like anything like drinks, whatever, how do they get in touch with you?
Definitely hit me up on my page, chocolatedrop.za or tongue twisters with a Z drinks. That's my Instagram. And yeah, I do catering, whether you want me to not host the event, but be at the event. I have the frozen drink machine, and I offer different cocktails and different frozen drinks like pina coladas and strawberry daiquiris.
Okay, good. And Erin's working on the site.
Yep, but the type form is up. So day1.athletics, and you can just fill all out the information, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is it. So we learned a few things today, right? We've heard the ladies' stories, and the first thing that came to mind was they were already moving on to the next guy while they were currently in a situation.
That is not what I did.
Right?
You say that, Erin?
That was the first.
That
thing,
is not what I said. That is not what I said. You
Damn, she won't even let me finish. You never gonna let me finish this
Jonathan?
benediction. I'm providing the benediction.
Okay, all right.
So-
it was a little shady, but all right. We'll talk about it off camera. Okay,
I was just talking about observations.
whatever. I was
The
not.
second observation.
I said I didn't cheat. Y'all didn't believe me. I don't cheat.
The second observation is women tend to stay in relationships way longer than they should. And, maybe that's something they'll work on going forward. But, it definitely leads to a bit of a toxicity and stress, unnecessary stress, because if things aren't going well now, I imagine, 6 months from now, right? So you're going to be stuck in the same situation. And, what's very interesting is that women tend to find most dudes unattractive. I mean, let's be honest, right? Most dudes are unattractive.
It's the hairline. It's the
They're
hairline.
sending DMs. They're sending messages on these dating apps. They're not getting much love or attention, and they're just not getting noticed. And even if they do get a phone number, they're sending the same messages. How are you? Good morning, beautiful. What's for lunch? What's for dinner? When are you free? Right? So the women have seen these messages. They know they're coming, and it's the same routine over and over again. So there's a lot of things that need to change. And the reason why we're so passionate about starting this this segment is to just think about the lessons learned and to think about what we could do going forward. How can we be better? How can we be better? How can the ladies be better? And they're giving their experiences because they also want the men to do certain things. Maybe you shouldn't keep sending, what's for lunch today. Switch things up. Switch things up on her. Keep things interesting.
Remember what we last told you.
I'm in the middle of a benediction.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
let him go.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Wow.
I'm
Let him go.
not. I'm not. Just let it be
All right.
like a sidebar on the side.
All right. So, and on that note, are you over your ex? Stay tuned for more amazing content from us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And the ladies' DMs are open. So if you
Not
haven't-
really, but okay.
Fellas, get in that back door. No pun intended.
there you
Yo,
go. Thank you.
Don't write me after 10. Okay.
God bless.
God
God
bless.
bless y'all.